practice squad. And sometimes you can get a reliable body. This guy, somebody could get hurt, and then you got to sink down the depth chart. This guy might get playing time, might become a star. You never know. I've seen it happen. Right now that's where he's at. So let's see where he goes.
Yep. Okay. And now I gave my take on it, and they actually liked what I said, but I want to get your take. If you were the NFL commissioner, what would you do to help teams mitigate the 18-week schedule at the next CBA in 2030?
Well, Roger Goodell's not going to do anything for the players or the teams. He works for the owners. The owners put him in there. He hasn't done anything to really do anything like that except add more games and cut out preseason games and things like that. If I'm Roger Goodell, I would try to maybe cut back on, I'm not saying practice schedules, but workout schedules a little bit or something, or give them maybe a second bye week, you know what I mean? Something like that. And I know it drags the season on, but one bye for 17 games is fine depending on where it is. But if you get two, that's a great thing. I mean, that can work out. Look in college now, they got 2 byes now. Every team gets, I think, 2 byes every schedule. So, with that, why can't the NFL do it like that? That's how I think you can solve that problem. But I don't know if Roger Goodell's going to solve any problem with that.
What I said is basically what I thought. What I think teams would need, and the number one thing is, I think they would have to expand rosters to allow better rotations of teams to keep guys fresh with the extra week.
Yeah, that's a good
and so
point.
expand the roster to 60 and the practice squad to 20 from 13, and increase also the amount of players you can rotate in off the practice squad from 6 to 8.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that way. Hey, Joshua Dorr in the chat. And Cyber Rusky. The picture looks familiar. I think I know who that is. Is that the rocket scientist?
Yes.
But anyways, and then the other thing I said was have 2 bye weeks. One is a stationary bye week at week 9 for the trading deadline. That way, guys that get traded in don't have to be rushed into action. They actually get 2 weeks of training before they actually have to play a game. And then also no bye week in week 8 and no bye week in week 10. And the other bye week rotates for the NFL teams that travel overseas and are coming back to America. That way they get a bye week when they get back.
Yeah, exactly. And, the ones that fly like that, Jeremy, I think they should get a bye week before they go and a bye week when they come back, because that's a lot of flying. I mean, when you think about that for a second.
I don't think you could do it before they go, but at least when they come back, because it's just like when like when you go on vacation. And I was talking about this with Mike Johnson, Will, and Jamie earlier before you got here. When you go on a vacation, you're not jet lagged when you get to vacation overseas. You're jet lagged when you get back at the end of that week and you come back. And that's why most people set it up so they get back on a Friday with that day off and have the 2 days to recover from their jet lag before they go back to work. There's a reason for that. And the same can be said for NFL players that go over there, not for a vacation. They're going over there to do their damn jobs.
Yep.
Well, I had a county paid vacation in 2 counties for child support there, Cyber Rusky. That is what happened. So I had 102 days where I didn't get to talk to anybody.
Wow.
And then JB, should we tell him the last topic?
Yes, I'm going to get to that right now. What are the biggest needs, and you can use up to 3 different positions for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year? What do you think the 3 biggest needs are?
Well, they need to get a running back. They're banking their stuff on Jaylen Warren, who backed up or came in on 3rd downs when Najee Harris was around. And who knows? We might even get Najee Harris back, because he's not doing well down with the Chargers. He's hurt from a fireworks incident. And
you got that rookie from Iowa who looks like
Well, Caleb Johnson, who I said they were going to draft, and they did draft him. he looks good. They got a few other guys in the, some guys they brought in. But I think that's a concern. The second wide receiver is a concern too. Okay.
Yeah,
they don't have a legitimate second wide receiver, but I will say if Arthur Smith does this the right way, I think they can take I think they can use their tight ends to make up for the second receiver loss because they have some good tight ends right now. Smith, you have Darnell Washington, and you have
Freiermuth.
So, yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is if they can get them guys in there across the middle of the field, which is what's been a problem for years for the Steelers. My third situation, both lines of scrimmage, or a real situation. Our defensive tackles, the only one that's relevant right now is Cam Hayward. Keanu Benton's a mystery. We're going to see what he does. They got a bunch of guys with backups or a bunch of bums. And then they have 2 draft picks.
Derek Harmon, I think he'll be good.
Yeah. Let him finish, Jamie.
I think Derek Harmon will be good. And then I also think that they got this other kid from Iowa. I think he's going to be good as well. But I think it's going to take time for them. They got Dean Lowry. I think we'll be okay. But again, there's some backups there that are just a bunch of bums. And I'm concerned about that Cam's not going to have no help on that line. They have to have a good defensive line to set up the linebackers, and they got to have a good offensive line to help Aaron Rodgers. They cannot have a weak offensive line this year. They got to pick it up. And training camp's over. The start of the season begins. Cuts could be happening. Steelers could pick up an experienced offensive lineman, bring him in. Maybe they might cut somebody for a rookie that a team might like. They might get a second wide receiver. Don't hold the Steelers out yet. Con man's up to something, Omar Khan. So we'll see.
All right. Pensman says, Ralph, I'm here just to want to let you know.
Oh, well, thank you, Pensman. I appreciate it. One of my biggest fans. Actually, I posted a picture on Facebook. Pensman came down here during the 4th of July weekend and visited. We got together on the boardwalk, and then we went and had some dinner at the bonfires. The Sunday he came to my house, and it was nice meeting him in person. It was beautiful.
I hope to meet
his lovely wife.
I hope to go up to your way eventually.
Yeah, well, come on up and say hello.
And I've been meaning to go hang out with Jeremy sometime.
Okay, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, now that I live in I live near Ocean City. I live in West Ocean City. I have a Berlin mailing address, so
Nice.
But I live in West Ocean City. I live across the bridge from downtown. So
nice.
I love every minute of it too. So still talking Pittsburgh sports though, Jeremy. So still got my radio shows going and all that.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I love the fact you got that. Just like this show, because of the time where it's at, it can't be on the Huddle Sports Network because while I was in, another show took that spot, and I'm not bitter about it at all. But I still go live at the same time because that's what my fans expect.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
by the way, Jeremy, I'm having some issues with that again. I keep getting that thing keeps coming up all the time.
The little exclamation point saying you can't go live. Yeah. That's because somebody else hasn't hopped off on time. That's exactly what it is. It's nothing to do with you. If you try to start it even 1 second before that hour starts, it'll flag you. And if you just wait till I always wait till about 10 seconds after the hour hits and then go live, and it usually works every time.
Okay. So somebody's bleeding into my time is what you're saying.
Right. 9 times out of 10.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Right. 9 times. Yeah. That's because there's a certain show that goes on on that morning that lasts till 10, and they don't understand time constraints.
Yeah, I know.
But
they have no consideration for time, Jeremy. You know how it goes.
Right. I am so happy to hear you back here talking with me, talking football, because it's something that I've enjoyed doing with you, Ralph, the entire time I met you.
I appreciate that, Jeremy. Unfortunately, I had a situation that came up, and I was stuck in the middle of it, but that has ended, and I'm not going to go any further.
Right. It was a forced situation that we all were stuck in.
Yeah.
I was stuck in that situation too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
his was before.
I should have not strayed away from here. That's what I should have. That was a mistake I made. So,
but I'm
that's
glad you're
fault.
back.
I laid an egg, and it's my fault. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back working with you, Will, all the guys here. So,
yes, sir. I'm loyal to JB and JB only.
Yeah, I missed Mike. I saw he was on earlier.
Yeah, well, tell me he's coming back for sure.
Yeah. Where's Zilla at? I don't see him around. He has his own show or something.
I think has his own show, and he has.
Yeah, Jeremy was on with him last night or something. I saw him. Yeah, I've been watching everybody's stuff. Ken and Ken.
Yeah, those guys are trip. Anyway, I've got to go.
All right. Thank you, Will, for being here.
Yep.
Have a great one.
See you guys.
Hey,
Jeremy,
Pensman, anytime.
You got me till 10:30 because I have to go to bed early. I got to get up. I got a contractor coming here at 6:30 in the morning to do something. So.
Pensman, anytime you want to come on Wednesday night, it's 9:00. Come on in.
Yep. Yeah, I might have one other person for you too, Jeremy.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. I'd love it.
He works with me on Saturday on my Saturday sports show, and you're welcome to come back on as well if you want.
You send me the link. If I'm awake, I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah, well, we start at 10 a.m. now, not 9, 10 o'clock.
That's perfect. Then I will be awake.
yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'll send you the link. You can come on this week. It's just me and Leo, and then we bring on, like I have Pensman come on, Brian Pettit. Brian Pettit's a guy I want to see if he'll come on with.
So it's time to do that fun thing I do with the division. My fake sponsors, the ones that everybody loves so much. And last place with 5 wins, it's the Bears.
Yeah.
And in third place, it's FTP.
Oh my. Hey, Steelers got to play Green Bay this year. I'm interested to see what Rodgers will do against Green Bay.
Amen. So. And last but not least, in second place with a 14-3 record, they got skull fucked because the Lions swept them.
No, you know what though? They're going to screw up this year, Minnesota. JJ McCarthy, man. I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be a big time screw up.
Oh, since he said it, Chicago Maybelline Bears. I got to put it up here. This is the week 1 bobblehead because Minnesota goes to Chicago.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, there you go. They made a Barbie doll out of Caleb Williams.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Hey, let me ask you this, Jeremy, and I've been meaning to ask you this. Your thoughts on Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. What do you think they're going to do as head coaches?
I think Aaron Glenn is in a better system right now with what they have around Justin Fields, because we've seen Justin Fields do what he did to start the season. What was it? 3 in
Pittsburgh, man. He
4-2.
Yeah.
And then you guys only won 5 more games with
we were
Russell?
6-6 with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
4-2 with Justin
Fields. And he lost his first game in his last game, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure I had that timeline right.
Yeah, you did. And,
Donkey Kong, good to see you, brother.
Ben Johnson's walking into a dumpster fire up here in Chicago, but, he'll get Caleb Williams up and moving, so we'll see. But anyway, I wanted to ask you that question. I've been meaning to do that, to find out what your thoughts were on your 2 former coaches. And one other question I want to ask you, Jeremy, what do you think the Lions will do this year with the new coaches?
Well, Johnny Morton, again, and I explained this to somebody else, so I'll explain it to you. He was a part of the team in 2022 to start the year, and he ended up switching to the Bucs because he got offered that assistant offensive coordinator job and helped them become a better passing team, if you remember right.
Right.
And then he went to the Broncos with Sean Payton and helped Bo Nix. So that became a better passing team.
I see.
So
yeah.
I think that there's not as much of a drop off as everyone thinks. He wants to, open up the playbook to incorporate Jameson Williams' speed more, which I said they should have done last year, because if they would have, he would have been a more than just an almost 1,000-yard receiver.
I see. Yeah, I'll tell you, the coach. The interesting thing is, I'm interested to see what some of these new coaches are going to do. Liam Cohen, some of these other guys.
And Calvin Shepard, he was a part of this team as the linebackers coach. He was the one that made the decision after we did Hard Knocks to make Malcolm Rodriguez a starter next to Alex Anzalone over Derek Barnes.
Yeah, drafted by the Bills, Calvin Shepard in 2011. Right. I believe if we're talking about the same guy, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Lion, and he was a Steeler first, then he was a Lion, and I think he ended up going to the Cowboys after that?
We traded him to the Colts for Jerry Hughes. That's what we did.
Yeah.
The Bills did.
Yeah, Jeremy, one other thing I wanted to say, get your opinion too, Jamie. Which coach do you think's on the bubble for this season coming up? Which bubble? I'm going to call them bubble coaches, or walking on eggshells, or something to that effect.
Raheem Morris. If the Atlanta Falcons don't live up to the talent that's on that roster again, I think that if he has another middling season with 9 wins or less and misses the playoffs, he may be on the way out. Down there, I know he just got there, but the Saints are a dumpster fire.
Yeah, Kellen Moore is really bad. I heard they have salary cap problems down there. I had a guy on.
He wants to see this one. Here you go. That's the Caleb Williams picture he wants. That's how he eats corn.
Oh my. That's hilarious. That's
I could have did FTP this way, because when we played in Lambeau, I think it was week 7, week 8, after we played Dallas. The human FTP between Tim Patrick and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the end zone.
I see. The war continues in that division.
Yes, sir. It's the Black and Blue division for a reason.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the AFC North's looking. I think it's going to be the Steelers and the Ravens. The Bengals, I don't know.
I think there's
the Bengals are going to do what they always do: play. The Bengals think they're playing the NBA, score a bunch of points and no defense. That's awful. The Bengals.
No, Jamie, they have a bad offensive line. That's their main problem. They've always had bad offensive lines.
Who's that?
The Bengals.
Yeah.
But don't you think Don't you think they think they're in the NBA though? Because they score a bunch of points, but they don't play defense.
If it wasn't for Trey Hendrickson, they wouldn't have won 9 games last year and even been in the playoff time. At 17 and a half sacks, it's ridiculous that they didn't pay him before they paid T. Higgins.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think they would pay T. Higgins. I actually thought he was going to walk away. But,
I didn't think they would either.
Yeah.
They need a defense.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart is refusing to sign and going back to college.
All they have is
I'm hearing. So all they have is Hendrickson. They have a porous secondary. They should have re-signed Jesse Bates when they had the chance, and they didn't do that.
No, they didn't. You're right. And Cleveland's a dumpster fire. I think this is it for Stefanski this year, I think.
Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs again.
I think he's done. I mean, they have a new dome stadium coming.
I still don't know why Joe Burrow didn't sue Lyle Collins for slander when they signed him from the Dallas Cowboys, because he stole the line from Unnecessary Roughness with the Chinese center who said, "They will not touch you, sir." He should be sued for slander, because Joe Burrow got sacked more times that year than the Super Bowl year, and that was including the playoffs, and they didn't make the playoffs that year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the Steelers could take this division if John Harbaugh continues to screw up during the regular season. He always does some stupid boneheaded, makes a bad decision in a Steeler game. He always does it. And I hope that he does it quite often this year, and we don't see him in the playoffs. see, you know. But sometimes it's wishful thinking, as they say. So, you know. But anyway, what do we got here? Yeah, Pensman, that's my man.
Oh, I think Joe Burrow is very good. I think Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback in this league still.
Yes.
And Justin Tucker is out 10 weeks, so they had to bring in one of the UFL kickers to replace him, if I remember right, because they didn't draft one.
Yeah, exactly. Justin Tucker's out because of that, whatever he was involved in.
That sex scandal.
Yeah, that sex scandal. Yeah. So, you know, and if they have to bring in a rookie kicker, which I think they drafted one or something, you know, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the AFC North. NFC is the same way. What you guys are in the NFC North, right, Jeremy?
Yes, we are. And I think the 4 best divisions in there, and it's 2 AFC and it's 2 NFC right now. In the NFC, it's the East and the North. And in the AFC, it's the West and the North. I think everybody else is fighting to come up to those teams. Does anybody agree with that? Disagree with that? Or agree?
No, I don't. I don't disagree with that either because you know, the NFC South is, oh my gosh, Carolina's a dumpster fire. The Saints are a dumpster fire. I don't know in the AFC East there with the Jaguars. I don't know what Liam Cohen's going to do there. I mean, you know,
right.
he might lay an egg. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. You know, so we'll see what happens. That's all we can do. You know. Also, you got you know, the AFC West is looking pretty good. Let's see what Pete Carroll does with the Raiders. You know, and you know, the Chargers, I don't know. We'll see what Harbaugh does with Justin Herbert down there. You know, so see what happens. That's all we can do in the West. Kansas City. I don't know what Kansas City's capable of this year. Is Mahomes going to have a bad year? Or is it going to be a repeat? We'll see. You know. So this season's going to be very interesting. Lots of different storylines, Jeremy and Jamie. Ton of them.
Exactly.
You know. Jamie, what's good with Buffalo?
Oh, you a Bills fan?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Is Mitch Trubisky still there?
Yes, he is. Well, they say he's competing with Mike White for the backup job, but I think Trubisky will still get it. And then Mike White,
backup.
He's very good backup. I think he'll get it, and then they might put Mike White back on the practice squad and then activate him again later in the year like they did last year. But they extended Mike White last year so he could get this opportunity this year.
He was with Miami, correct? If I'm not mistaken, that Mike White.
He got drafted by the Cowboys originally in 2018. Yeah. Was actually drafted in the same draft class as Josh Allen.
Okay.
Which is really cool. And then he didn't really make it with the Cowboys. Then he went to the Jets and he had an awesome first start.
The Jets, that's right. That's where he was. I remember his name now. Yeah.
He didn't look bad with the Jets. Only really came in during garbage time in Miami when they walloped Denver that year. And then he signed with Buffalo.
I want to address this one here because Trubisky, if you remember right, he was good with the Bears, even though they decided to go to Fields in the last year that Matt Nagy was there. So they let him go and he went to the Steelers. And the biggest thing that hurt him was the friendship he created with Dwayne Haskins. And then the birthday party where Dwayne Haskins died. I don't think he ever mentally recovered from that.
I said that years ago, Jeremy, and you remember that. I said it right here on this program. I did say that. You're exactly correct.
I know. And I agreed with you 100% because I read about that.
Yeah, because he was a really good backup quarterback, and then they brought him in here, made him the starter because they wanted to, you know, get Pickett some seasoning, take a look at what's going on. And then they had to go to Pickett because he was stinking up the joint. And I think his mindset with that, and I would have that same mindset too if you left my house and died. You know what I mean? I'd be, my mindset wouldn't be there, and I think that's haunted him for a while. I really do, So
you know what his mindset is? I think he's always, like I said, that when like I compare him being drafted before Mahomes, I compare that to Ken O'Brien being drafted before Dan Marino. Like both Trubisky and O'Brien actually didn't turn out to be bad quarterbacks. They just didn't turn out to be Marino, and the other one didn't turn out to be Mahomes.
We'll see. Mahomes has a good coach, Jamie. That's the interesting thing is he come in with Andy Reid. Okay. Andy Reid was already here.
Yeah.
Ken O'Brien went through some coaches up at the Jets. Okay. And really, to be frankly honest with you, the Jets have made the playoffs since who knows when. I think Herm Edwards was the coach, and he played against Bill Cowher and the Steelers. We played him in a wild card game at Heinz Field. And we won in overtime, I think, by a field goal. So, but that's the last time I remember they were even relevant in the playoffs, the Jets. So,
actually, but at the same time, what about 2011? What about 2010 and 2011 with Rex Ryan when they made the back-to-back AFC championships? And they beat New England in Foxborough, who was 14-2.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Patriots this year, we'll see what Mike Vrabel does. He's got a lot of work to do up there. He's got Josh McDonough back as offensive coordinator.
I want to address that because what Benjamin said. Yes, he did go to the Bills first. And if I remember right, Josh Allen missed 6 games and he won 4 of them as a backup that year.
Yes.
He did very good. He just didn't beat the really elite teams at the time, if I remember right, because that was in that middle stretch of the schedule that year.
Yeah, it was, yes.
And he was still like one of the most accurate quarterbacks and one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in that time. But the last game, he screwed the pooch. I don't know what happened. I think it was after he got sacked in the middle of the first quarter, and he got the yips, if I remember right. That's why they lost that game, and that's why when Allen came back, they said, yeah, we're going to let Allen start again.
Are you talking about Matt Barkley?
I'm talking about Trubisky that year. That he was with the Bills before he went to the Steelers.
I'm sorry to do this to you, buddy. I wanted to stay on here until 10:30. I got to go. I got something going on here that I got to take care of now. So.
Shout out your channel before you bounce out, and you have a great night, Ralph.
Thank you. Ralph Williams, RW Media on YouTube. I'm up to almost to 3,000 subscribers. Also, don't forget to catch me on Twitter X. Follow me there. I have 2 radio shows in Pittsburgh on AM 1250 on Saturday. 8 a.m., the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. And then at 2 p.m., the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. That's 1250 a.m., The Answer, pgh.com if you're not around the Western Pennsylvania area. Also, Saturday is the triple header of Ralph Williams. Don't forget 10 a.m., the Saturday sports show with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty, and guest of our choosing. And then Tuesday, Sports Corner show with me and Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. And then right after that, immediately following, both on the Huddle Sports Network, the Wrestle Talk show with me, Ralph Williams, and Smoking Jim Frazier. So there's all my shows there, most of them. There you are, Jeremy and Jamie.
Thank you. Have a great night, Ralph, and good luck tomorrow with your appointments. And if you want me to be on, let me know Friday night the topics.
I will do so. The first one is going to be the UFL. I don't know if you heard today, there's a report out there that 4 teams will be relocated.
Yeah, so, one of them being my Michigan Panthers.
Yeah, and the Birmingham Stallions. I'm actually quite surprised Birmingham didn't support that team. I mean,
right,
all the championships they've won, so, But, all right, have a great night, guys. Thank you.
And Jamie, go ahead and shout out your channel and everything you do in Forkball and Stadium Rant, all of that.
Okay, so you guys can follow me, yours truly, on Bill's Chat 1 and Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dog Tags on X, theforkball.com, and stadiumrant.com, where I write about all sports. You guys catch me every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. on Driving to the Top Productions as Joe Dalio and I host the Subway Conversation Chat from 8 until 9 on Driving to the Top Productions. And then at 9 o'clock p.m., you could catch me, Jeremy, and some of the other guys on Driving to the Top Productions from 9 to 10 on we do an hour of open sports mic there. And then every Wednesday night you can catch me, Jeremy, and the boys on NFL Roundtable Talks on the Huddle Sports Network. And also you can you can listen to this on YouTube, Roku, Fire Stick, and also it was Roku Fire Stick and
yep.
Is it Amazon TV? Amazon TV too. Yep. Things like that. And then obviously speaking of the UFL next year, Jeremy and Marcus and I will be on Driving to the Top Productions, and we'll be talking about season 3 of the UFL with those 4 new teams. And could we also be talking about a season, right? But or they also be getting rid of the USFL conferences too? Maybe go back to being that, just renaming the league as the XFL again. Who knows? But anyway, thank you guys very much for listening tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like, comment, and ring the bell for notifications. And for more episodes on Huddle Sports Network, you can visit the YouTube page, catch us on Roku Fire Stick, Amazon TV, or wherever you get your podcast. I'm Jamie Malloy, along with Jeremy B. I'm Jamie Malloy, and this is that's funny.
He's not wrong though. He actually is right. This year, the UFL was more profitable than the WNBA with less viewership because the sponsorships are better.
Right. So, along with Jeremy B, this is Jamie Malloy. Thank you very much for listening. We look forward to seeing you next week on NFL Roundtable Talks next Wednesday at 9:00 p.m. right here on the Huddle Sports Network. Have a good night, folks. See you next week.
And I want to say what I always say: try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. If you want to help the world change, you have to be the change. Good night.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.